Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to explain you about another problem, another real life problem simulation using Python. Today we are going to solve the problem how to make user login credentials in Python programming language. Yes. So let us first understand what is user login system. We all have seen the user login system in several websites. In even if your computer is locked, secured by a password, then your laptop also will ask you the password to open your desktop and start working. And if you all have screen locks in your cell phone where you have to enter a password, then only you can work on your mobile phone. So for the purpose of security, we use user login system. So what do we mean by user login system? So our username and unique username and password are stored in a database where a unique pair of username and password is saved. So two accounts can have same username or can have same password, but together, that is username and password together they are not identical. So they are supposed to find that the entered username and password by me is really matches with the username and password together stored in the computer's memory. So so let us think how we are going to solve this problem. So here there is a little example for the start of this problem, that we have to check whether together the username and password matches the stored username and password or not. In order to open the security system for you to start your work. You to start your work. Sorry. So this one is the simplest solution, but we can also in some login systems you might have noticed that if you log in with some incorrect username and your password is correct, then it will show you that username is incorrect, and if you fill in the wrong password for some username, it will show that your password is wrong. So we are going to code that for in Python. So first of all, let us think how are we going to implement this piece of code using Scratch. So what should be the logic? In Scratch, we will also make the stored make a variable named stored username and stored password and enter the username and password. So here to notice with is that the password which you fill in can have alphanumeric data type. That is, it can have alphabets, it can have digits, or it can have special symbols in the password or the username. So the data type for username and password is string data type and known as alphanumeric because we use special symbols, letters and numbers. So then we will make two global variables, username and password, for which user we will use the ask block to get the user input. We can, as it is written using the input function, the cat will say enter your username and will store in the answer block. But here you must be careful. We have to be careful that we have to use two different answer blocks. Like if we use the same answer block, then the the latest value, whatever the user will input, that is the password will be only remaining in the password will be only remaining at the end, and your program will not run in Scratch. So we have to make two answers, answer 1 and answer 2, two blocks for storing the answer of by the user. Then we are going to use if else if statement uh, for checking of the condition for credential. Yes. So here is my Python code for my solution, and so we are going to use if else block in Scratch, or we can use many if statements together. One question arises that as we are checking the output for two variables, how I'm going to which logical operator should I use to say that this whole condition, that is username for username and password, holds true, so that this overall statement holds true for the if block to evaluate for printing this statement for printing. So let us say this individual statement, that is checking for the condition of same if the username is same as the stored username. So if this evaluates to true, and if the password which the user entered and the stored password is the same, then this will evaluate to true, that is 1 and 1. So my whole overall action should be that this statement should evaluate to true. And if username is not equal to the stored username and the password is equal to the stored password, then this statements, let us say statement username, will evaluate to false, and password statement will evaluate to true. So overall action for these two variables, overall action of this whole statement should be false, that we will let the user only enter when both username and password is exactly same as the one stored in the database. So in short, if we say this whole statement will evaluate to true only for one case where both the individual statements will evaluate to true, which is similar to the AND logical operator functionality. So we are going to use AND as a logical operator for evaluation of this whole compound statement to be true or false. So first condition is the true condition. First, I'm trying to check whether it's exactly same or not. That is, username is exactly same and the password entered is also same. Then the computer will greet to welcome user, and all the statements below will be ignored and the program will end. If this if statement test condition evaluates to false, then else if statement will be run to check for this statements is true or false. Then if username is not equal to stored username. That is, if this is true, that is the stored username is incorrect. The username is incorrect and the password is correct. Then they should print that invalid username, that you have entered the invalid username. Please try again. Right? So then username is not equal to stored name. So when username is not equal to stored username, that is the statement is true, and stored password is equal to password, this statement is true, then this whole else if block will be printed, that invalid username. Then same with the same logic, but the this time password is not identical, so it will say print that invalid password, and if both are incorrect, username and password, then it will print invalid username and password. So let us see the working of this one. So yeah, it's asking enter username here. Let us say 34. So now ask for password, say 67. Yes, invalid username and password. So all these statements have evaluated to false. Then only the else block has been executed. So let us enter the correct username. User 123, and let's apply wrong password. And if yes, this one has been evaluated as invalid password. So let us say user 123. Password, let us put it right this time. First statement should run. Yes, welcome user. First statement has run. So let us now enter wrong user name and correct password. This is invalid user. So yes, this statement has evaluated true, and after execution of one if else statement, the whole program terminates. So this same logic can be implemented in Scratch very easily, and it's really fun to do. I will recommend you all to try implementing in Scratch. So that's all from my side today. So one thing is very much important here to know, that we must put all the test cases which will check whether each and every if or else if statement is working or not, and the else statement blocks are working or not. Because while I was coding for this particular question, I actually mistyped the variable name, the and I only used the test case which evaluated true for the if statement. So the program run fully because the first statement got true and it was written correctly, but the next block was not written correctly. And when I tried to test for the second statement to be evaluated, the program got and the name it told me that there is a name error, that pass password is not defined. Actually, I instead of O I wrote A by mistake. So that's why. So that's why always check for all possible test cases for your code, for the if statements. So that's all from my side today. See you all next time in the next video. If you love this my video, then please hit the like button and subscribe our channel. In the next one, I will come with another real life simulation using if else or while loop. So thank you everyone. Goodbye. Have a nice day.